Hi Pisces, this is Alexander Creek, astrologer and intuitive. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about the astrology forecast for the month of June 2024 for the sign of Pisces. So remember to like, subscribe, click on notifications so you don't miss a video, and let's get into it. So first of all, I would say try to watch these forecasts for your rising sign or your ascendant, and then your sun sign. The rising sign is going to be a little bit more accurate, just FYI. So, first of all, it's a busy month, especially for you as a mutable sign. A mutable sign is Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius, because we have a lot of Gemini energy right now. So that means that it's angular in your chart. So you're going to be feeling it a little bit more. So, first of all, we're starting off with Jupiter, that planet of expansion, of opportunity and blessings and wisdom, moving into the sign of Gemini, and it moved into Gemini on May 25th and will be here until June 2025. So, a little bit over a year that Jupiter is going to spend in this sign. And it's, let's see, where is it moving for you? I forgot exactly where. So, it is moving into your fourth house of home and family, your residence, your personal security, and your private life. So, it's moving into like a really kind of big part of your, it's moving into a pretty big part of your chart. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. I want to kind of give you a little kind of talk to you about the energy of Jupiter and Gemini itself. So, Gemini is very busy energy. And I think all of us to some degree are going to kind of want to be learning, exploring our options, wanting to learn or study something or travel. Jupiter in Gemini is very excitable energy. It's like, I want to do this thing, but also this thing. And I also want to do this over here and do this over here and take this class. It's very excitable energy. And it's, you're probably going to be spreading your energy out a little bit or have multiple areas of focus. But there is going to be a square from Saturn. And Saturn is this planet. Saturn is actually in your sign right now, Pisces. So you're really feeling Saturn energy. And Saturn is going to be saying, make sure to focus and prioritize your goals and have some specific areas of focus so that you don't waste and squander your efforts. Because while sometimes, Jupiter can deliver a miraculous blessing your way, most of the time it's going to kind of just push the door open a little bit so you can take that step, because most of the time Jupiter is not going to be that dramatic. However, it does provide opportunity. It does provide expansion. You will maybe want to look or remember what was going on in your life between June 2012 and June 2013, specifically connected to these fourth house themes of home and family, or just think about big themes in your life at that time, because chances are you could be revisiting some of those themes with Jupiter entering this the fourth house. So with Jupiter going into the fourth house, it's possible that you could be expanding home, you could be moving, anything connected to your residence, just kind of getting bigger. It could be about making your residence or your home space more comfortable, or simply feeling more at ease or more comfortable in your home space. It could be that there's opportunities for you to grow your family, or maybe to I don't know, even have more security for yourself, or kind of just sort of build on your nest, whether that is physically and literally, like making your space bigger or moving, or in an emotional way, just kind of more tending to your nest and making things more comfortable. It could be you could be expanding your family this year, or there could simply just be opportunities and blessings sort of concerning your sort of family unit or your parents. This also could be a year where you may explore, ancestor work, like working and like praying, working spiritually sort of with your ancestors. That's something that I could see you doing also this year as well. And just anything connected to home, family, roots, where you come from, that's all going to get expanded, and there's going to be some blessings to that this year. Sometimes it could be even like, I've also seen this as like, if you're from another place, or excuse me, it could be, well, I cannot talk, I cannot talk. If you're from another country, or you've always wanted to visit somewhere that felt like home, I've seen Jupiter in the fourth house also represent travel, weirdly too, because Jupiter in general represents study and travel. So there could be maybe some travel involved as well. But I'm going to say mostly home and family themes are going to be part of this Jupiter and Gemini energy for you. So we have a new moon on June 6th, and in the same part of your chart, this is going to be a new moon in Gemini. This is a very busy energy. This is the need to talk, communicate, plan, explore new things. I'm curious about things. It's very social energy. It's very lively energy. I mean, this also activates that Jupiter in Gemini because, Jupiter will be with the new moon. So there may be a new opportunity or a new beginning or a seed being planted that you may recognize as part of like you may recognize like the themes of like, okay, this might be part of what is coming up for me this year, or this might be part of like my Jupiter story this year, essentially. So you may recognize maybe where there's an opportunity, what you're excited by, kind of the because sometimes Jupiter can be like, I'm really excited about this, I really want to pursue it, and just kind of finding that those doors open to you when you take those steps. So you may notice that, especially within your home and family sector, there may be new opportunities for you about your security, about again expanding or tending to your home and family with this new moon. Or perhaps if you're seeking housing, or if you need to move, or if you're trying to buy or sell a home, this could be when that process really kind of gets the ball rolling. This new moon will be square Saturn as well, like pretty exactly. So it's going to be asking you to prioritize your goals, to focus. There's work to be done essentially with this. And because Saturn is in your sign, Saturn has been in your sign since March 2023. And Saturn is the planet of mastery and lessons and maturity, things that are hard but take a long time, responsibility, limitations. You could be feeling like, that maybe there's a little bit of a weight on you right now, that there's like a weight on your shoulders, that you are sort of having to grow up or mature or become. Saturn going through your sign could it could definitely feel like you go from like employee to manager. It's like, yes, there's a promotion, but it comes with a lot of work, a lot of responsibility. Or you could just simply feel like, you know, uh, there's work to be done, but maybe your energy is just like a little bit drained right now, essentially. But you're really going through this huge, I think, maturity kind of growth spurt process. Saturn going through your sign as well is saying it maybe it's helping you define who you are a little bit, what you're willing to put up with and what you're willing not to put up with as well, because Saturn is about drawing boundaries. And because Pisces is a sign that can often struggle with boundaries because it's represented by the ocean, this huge, massively huge body of water that really knows no bounds, because it's sort of like Pisces energy is very sensitive and very porous. And Pisces can often feel the energy of other people and often has struggles with boundaries. So Saturn in your sign may be helping you with that. And it may be saying, it's, like, okay, it's time to be right here, right now, get really grounded and sort of, focusing on sort of what is real and what is practical. So there is this, you know, so that piece of it you may be feeling with this new moon. Essentially, it's like, okay, we have to prioritize and focus and sort of define our goals with this new moon. At the same time, there's a Venus square Saturn aspect as well. A square aspect in astrology is a very dynamic aspect. It's very in your face, and it can be challenging, but it prompts action, right? So Venus is the planet of relationships and worth and value, and there might just be themes around relationships essentially coming in. It's like, is this relationship worth it? What am I worth? Do I feel valued? There could be just there's something around like commitment and worth and value with this new moon, and it could be like a relationship, possibly with a family member that you were having to work on, or something, or something involving maybe finances connected to home and sort of saving for that, or some sort of like home project that feels like long term and hard, but maybe worth it in the end. So that kind of heavier energy may also be a part of this new moon as well. So again, that would be connected to home, and there's also like this maturity kind of Saturn thing going on for you in Pisces. I cannot talk in Pisces as well. My God, I need more coffee, I think. So next we have Mars, the planet of action, of energy, of how you tackle your to-do list, but also conflict and inflammation, entering Taurus from June 9th through July 20th, and it will be entering your third house. So your third house of communication in the mind. So first of all, Mars is going from really fiery, just do it Aries energy to more thoughtful, conservative Taurus. Mars in Taurus is more security minded, but it's also, and it's more thoughtful about how it wants to take action. Like, is this action that I'm going to take worth it? Because Taurus wants to rest, but it's also very hardworking. And for you, this is moving into your third house. Essentially, this could be that you just have a sharper tongue during these weeks. So, maybe if you're more mild mannered, you might find yourself just speaking with more fire, basically, to your tongue, sharp words, that kind of thing. And it could be that your mind is very stimulated, that you simply have a lot of correspondence that you have to send out, that you're in more conversations than you usually are. And also, you could just be working more on communications projects, or you could feel a prompt to really start. You could feel a fire under your butt because Mars is fire. When it comes to learning something, taking a course, or teaching something. This could also, Mars can simply just mean more activity. So there could be more activity with transportation in your commute, or even some travel. One thing I would say here is Mars can also be conflict. So there can be more conflict in this area of your life. This could be with siblings, with your neighbors, or maybe just stuff coming up again with transportation in your commute. So you might be like flipping someone off a little bit, maybe during Mars in the third house, like in traffic or something. But these are all just like possibilities. But again, the third house is daily commute, daily rituals, your daily environment, and your correspondence. So more energy here. And frankly, I do feel like you're probably going to want to speak your mind a little bit more than usual with Mars moving through this part of your chart. So, I did want to mention I do have a class I'm teaching on June 12th at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. This is going to be Venus in the birth chart. So you're going to be learning bite-sized astrology with me. You're going to be learning about Venus, the planet of relationships and pleasure and worth. This essentially can tell you kind of what you like in relationships, what you're attracted to, what you're drawn to, maybe some secret talents that you have, how you magnetize things to you, the life areas that she's in charge of, because Venus could be in charge of your friend energy in your chart, but also like she governs over your finances. So there's a connection between the two. Or perhaps she actually rules your career, and you should be doing something with art and beauty for your career instead of whatever you're doing now. So we'll look at celebrity examples, and also I'll also be doing chart readings for people that attend the workshop. So that's as time allows. So if you want to register, I hope to see you in class. The registration link will be in the comments or in the show notes. And or just email me if you can't find either of those, and we can get you set up. So I hope to see you in class. So speaking of Venus, we actually have that planet of relationships and beauty and pleasure and connection going into Cancer, from very kind of flirty, intellectual Gemini into more nurturing, security-minded, and meaningful connection-focused Venus in Cancer. Venus will be in Cancer from June 17th through July 11th. She will be moving into your fifth house. So this is a really ideal time during this period of time to bring a little pleasure into your life. The fifth house is love, it's romance, it's sex, it's children, because guess how babies are made, right? And it's also your creative projects and creative energy. And so this could really enliven your creative space. This might be time that you feel more creative, or that you feel more drawn to creating beauty in your life. This is a really nice time to maybe bring some romance in, to like set up a date, to have like a romantic or sexual connection with someone. And this could, and this is Venus in Cancer is more tender, and it is more romantic, so it is more sort of heart based kind of feels. So that could definitely be something that would come up for you. This is also a really nice time to if you have children, just to kind of spend it with your children, or to smooth over any conflicts that you might have with children. So these areas of your life are going to get a little sort of kiss by Venus during this time. So definitely take time for pleasure and some fun during this period of time. So finally, we have the full moon. Excuse me. The full moon in Capricorn on June 22nd. Hold on, I need a sip. Okay. We have a full moon in Capricorn. Full moons tend to bring completion and culmination, or awareness, or news, or an event, or just like a highlight of focus, essentially. This is a really interesting full moon because it's a two-parter. We have one full moon in Capricorn basically as soon as Cancer season starts on June 21st. That's at 1 degree of Capricorn. Then we have another full moon in Capricorn next month at 29 degrees. And that is saying there's a beginning and ending to a story that's happening. So whatever comes up in this full moon, it does feel like it will maybe be resolved at the next full moon. So this full moon for you is happening in your 11th house. So there could be, so the 11th house is concerned with friends, with colleagues, with different organizations that you are a part of. Um, Also just kind of like-minded people that you're in groups with, or sort of like your online social media communities. It's like bigger groups that you're a part of, and it could just so it could be that your social life is just really popping essentially at this time. There could just be a lot of activity relating to friends, groups, different stuff that you are a part of. There could be an ending there. There could be maybe some more drama, or it's just simply could just simply be a lot more energy, or just something going on in that part of your life. The 11th house is also concerned with your hopes, wishes, and goals for the future as well. So it could be that you are maybe completing something here, that you're completing a goal, that you're like shifting focus, or that there is a focus for you on like, what do I want to create right now, essentially. And like, because especially because Saturn is in your sign, you're really kind of thinking, you're probably thinking more long term at this point, and you're thinking like, like, what do I really want to work on? Because you have Saturn and Jupiter in those very angular kind of houses. Especially because it's this full moon's in Capricorn. So there are things around like achieving around security and accomplishment and authority to this full moon. And what also makes this full moon interesting too is Saturn, the ruling planet of Capricorn, is going to be going retrograde the next week. So for you, because Saturn is in Pisces, Saturn is in your sign. That's going to kind of prompt, I think, like a bit of a life review, or kind of thinking about your responsibilities and the things that you're working on, and like maybe changing those things up a bit, or going about those things differently, or just being more thoughtful in kind of how you approach things in your life. Or maybe changing some of these sort of like responsibilities up a little bit with Saturn going retrograde. And at the time of the full moon, it's slowed down. So you're really just going to be, I think, noticing the how you approach things in your life, and this kind of, and maybe how you've grown with Saturn and the work that you still have to do. Um, Also because Saturn rules your 11th house as well, that we were just talking about. So friends, groups that you're part of, your goals. You might be looking at like, maybe which friends do I want to stay connected to, which groups do I want to stay connected to, and which ones maybe do I want to let go of, or do I want to maybe like let go of some like responsibilities that I have to whatever groups that I'm a part of. So again, this is a two-part story. The second part of that is going to play out next month, so maybe pay attention to what is coming up now with this energy. And again, just because Saturn is going to be retrograde does not mean bad. It's prompting reassessment and review. So I hope this made sense for you. Let me know let me know if it was helpful. Um, Maybe comment later in the month and see, just kind of just see maybe how some things played out. It's always kind of interesting to hear. And maybe let me know your rising sign or big three in the comments, or email me and let me know what's going on as well. So thanks again for watching. Make sure that you subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. We'll see you next week with another video. Bye, guys.